old days, the Navajo Indians would look at the caterpillars along the riverbanks, and if the stripes on the caterpillar were a certain width, they knew it was going to be a mild winter. But if they were really close together and the bands were really wide, they were like, it's going to be a huge winter. But now they just look at my face, and, and so the Navajo are like, oh, look at that boy, oh, Bobke's face there, oh, it's going to be a long winter. So they look at my beard now, and it's been a huge winter. It's been gigantic. We've had like lots of snow. Like everybody's yard is buried in about 10 feet of snow. And when it's raining out here, it's pretty unpleasant, but when it's raining here, it's just hammering snow, a foot an hour in Durango. So the plows can't even get through town.
We're lucky to get you back out.
So this is going on for 6 weeks to 2 months. So I'm thinking, I got to go to California. You know, they got to open the airport. And the airport had been like closed for a few days, open, and the passes were closed. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to drive to Denver, but the pass is closed. So then I'm like, I'll drive to Phoenix. And because I had a talk Friday night at Amgen down in South Thousand Oaks. So I was like pretty desperate to get out. And Thursday it cleared up finally. And Thursday was beautiful. Not a cloud in the sky. I went to bed, oh, this is gonna be great. They're gonna open up the airport. And I woke up, I had a 6 a.m. flight, so I woke up at 4:30 and there was like 3 inches of snow on my car. And I'm like, oh no. Please, and it was the only flight that got out on Friday, so. French, you know, I think this is what happened to Floyd, is the French got used to looking at the testosterone levels of the French riders. Like 0 parts per billion. And then they saw the Mennonite levels of testosterone. And the French are like, oh my God! And Floyd's like, what? Everybody looks like this in Pennsylvania. Come on. That's the theory I have.
Two things. I've been at Prairie Roubaix at the race itself, and I just thought it was amazing seeing those guys ride what they ride on. And then last year when I was here, you talked about Thurlow Rogers and his beautiful experience in Roubaix. Would you please share that with us again?
Again? Yeah. Don't pull a Thurlow, but he's gonna pull a Thurlow. He's getting nervous. He's got the travel agent on the phone. Our team didn't, we didn't do recon. We didn't reconnaissance any race. We were lucky if we got to the race in time to do it. But the European teams, they recon all the climbs in the Tour, they recon all of the cobble sections, and Thurlow was on La Viclaire. And so they recon the whole race the week prior to Paris-Roubaix. And I think that Thurlow and Roy Nickman was on that team also. And they were like, oh my God, where's Topanga Canyon Road? This is inhuman. You can't ride a bike across this. And it was a perfectly beautiful day when they went and looked at it. And the night before Paris-Roubaix started, it started to rain at dinner time. And after dinner, it started to snow. And snow was hammering down in Paris. And Thurlow was like, oh no. It was bad when the weather was nice. Now it's snowing. I don't know in Van Nuys if it snows that much. And I did the same thing. I'm like, oh my God. But I didn't have a credit card, so I couldn't buy a ticket home. But Thurlow grabbed his passport and his credit card and split. He didn't want to go through the hotel, so he climbed out of his hotel window and went to a payphone and called a taxi cab. And they took him to the airport. I don't think he's been back to Europe since. And so the team comes down for breakfast, no Thurlow, and there was only 3 or 4 Americans in Europe at the time. So we're like, where did Thurlow go? And Roy, I'm like, Roy, where did Thurlow go? And he's like, oh man, I woke up, he was gone, the window was open. I think he might have been kidnapped by aliens. I'm like, aliens, dude. Aliens wouldn't go to France to kidnap somebody. Everybody knows that. They go to Nevada. So it's poignant and ironic that the snow filled in all the cobbles, and it was the smoothest Paris-Roubaix in the history of the bike race. Was it Sean Kelly?
I don't myself, so.
It was either Kelly or Van der Arden. And I was the only guy on our team to finish. And it became big, it was big news in the United States. And Thurlow was much stronger than I was, and he would have done a really good result. And it's just a question of, not having a credit card. I mean, it's so disorganized. We couldn't leave. That was it. We had to do it. And so,
and oxygen.
yeah, and we did have. I wasn't like, when I did Paris-Roubaix. And I always felt bad for Thurlow because he missed out on the smoothest edition in the history of the race. And the cobbles were just like, and the old timers were like, these cobbles are nothing! When I reached Paris-Roubaix, they were big as the Grand Canyon, every single cobble! And you're like, come on, it wasn't that bad. Grand Canyon! So, but the cobbles change every year, and it's, you just have to have a little bit of faith and hang tough. That goes a lot further than talent sometimes, so. All right, one more question. Go ahead.
I've read about your experience with Annie Hampstead in the Giro when it snowed.
Yeah.
How much snow was there?
I have a picture. There was a 6-foot berm that they plowed through at the top of the Gavia Pass. And people are like, no way!